Hey guys, welcome to the next tutorial for ethical hacking. So in this tutorial I will be talking about what is ethical hacking and how and what are the necessary things that you need to make sure that you have in order to proceed. To be more specific speaking, let's say in a orthodox manner, if you go and check on the Wikipedia, the answer that you would get is like the science of testing your computers and network for security vulnerabilities and plugging the holes that you find before the bad guys get a chance to exploit them. This is what is written on the official EC Council website. But I don't think that is what all ethical hacking is all about. Although ethical is often, let's say, overused and a misunderstood word, if you go and check it properly, ethical means like, let's say, the professional way of doing things. That is, let's say, to conforming and to accepted professional standards of conduct. IT practitioners are obligated to perform all the tests covered over here in these tutorials, and only permission after permission has been obtained by the owner of the system. So hence that's why I'm telling you what this is all about. So to start with, where these things would be useful is that you might be wondering why to go for this course. Then the thing is that because let's say for example I have a company, I have a very large company dealing in like any random stuff like textiles, or I have a big corporate company. But the thing over here is that for past few months, due to some reasons, my market share is very down and I'm losing certain things. I have tried each and every other way to go ahead and make my market share up, but there is something that's happening in the organization what I don't know. At that point of time, I would go ahead and hire a bunch of hackers, or what actually is called as penetration testers, and authorize them to go ahead and test the security of my system. And when I say security or ethical hacking, it just does not mean that, say for example, to go ahead and hack into computers and check each and every other person's personal information. It does not mean that. Hacking contains a lot of other things. Hacking contains your knowledge of hardware along with the operating system, that means software. It contains social engineering and reverse engineering. That means if there is a software, how to go ahead and actually reverse engineer that so that you can modify it in your own way. Social engineering means that capturing human people's mind so that you could actually go ahead and know what they want or how they think in certain kind of manner and all those things. So hacking is a very vast term. Traditionally speaking, a hacker is someone who likes to get into other people's software or electronic system. Hackers enjoy exploring and learning how computer systems operate. So if you see any kind of a pure hacker loves discovering new ways to work electronically. Recently, but the hacker has taken a different meaning. Someone who maliciously, let's say, breaks into any person's systems for personal gain, and these are actually criminals and crackers and criminal hackers that break into systems with malicious intent. They are only out for personal gain, or let's say fame or profit, and even revenge. They modify, delete and steal personal information, which often actually make other people miserable, and it often finally leads into corporate espionage. So the good hackers are actually called as white hat hackers because they like being in the same category as the bad guys, but they are actually quite different. They only catch the black hat hackers, and black hat hackers means obviously the bad guys. So these terms were actually came from Western movies a long time ago, where the good guys were known as white cowboys and the bad guys were known as black cowboys. But whatever the sense would be, if you call yourself a hacker, then people would probably think you that or give you some kind of negative look or have a negative look on their face. So whenever if someone asks you what you are, never tell them you're a hacker. Tell them that you are a penetration tester or a pen testing guy. As simple as that. So the thing over here is that many malicious hackers claim that they don't cause damage, but they're actually helping others. Yeah, right. Many malicious hackers are actually electronic thieves. So in this tutorial, I will be first going through all the terminologies that I would be using you and letting you know what this is all about. So the thing about ethical hacking is that you need protection from these kind of hacker shenanigans. So what an ethical hacker does is that he possesses the skills, the mindset and the tools of a black hat hacker, but he is trustworthy. Ethical hackers perform the hacks as security tests to test the security of the system, so that in case any random black hat hackers comes and tries to do any kind of bad thing, then he might be able to prevent them. So if you perform ethical hacking tests for customers or simply want to add another certification, then you can actually go ahead and apply for the EC Council course for that ethical council, which is actually officially recommended overall worldwide. Ethical hacking, also known as penetration testing or white hat hacking, involves actually the same tools, tricks, techniques that the hacker use, but with one major difference. Ethical hacking is legal. You do that with permission. Ethical hacking is performed with the target's permission to whom you are going to hack. The intent of ethical hacking is to actually discover vulnerabilities from the black hat hacker's point of view so that these systems can be secure. Better part would be to go ahead and gather the zero-day vulnerabilities. And what are zero-day vulnerabilities? They're just vulnerabilities which are not yet discovered. For example, you have an organization but you don't have an organization which is actually been penetrated before. So you may hire a hacker to see what are the vulnerabilities which actually no one has discovered before any black hat hacker goes ahead and discovers them and use it for their malicious content. Ethical hacking is like it's a part of overall information risk management program that allows for ongoing security improvements. Ethical hacking can also ensure that vendor claims about the security of the products are actually legitimate. So to hack your own system like the bad guys, you must think like them, and it's absolutely critical to know your enemy. And that's what we are going to learn in these tutorials as of now. There's one famous quote about ethical hacking that or not actually ethical hacking about any kind of stealing or a thief. That is, to catch a thief, you need to think like a thief. And that's the whole base for the ethical hacking. So the law of these averages work against security. With the increased number and expanding knowledge of hackers combined with the growing number of system vulnerabilities that we have and also zero-day vulnerabilities, the time will come when all computer systems are hacked or compromised in some or the other way. And in today's age, we are living in that world. Protecting your system from the bad guys are not just generic vulnerabilities that everyone knows about, but the thing is that it is actually very critical. So when you know what the hackers tricks are, you can see how vulnerable your system is and you can act in order to protect them. Hacking actually preys on the weak security practices and undisclosed vulnerabilities. Such few things when talked about on a corporate basis would be the firewalls, the strength of the encryption, the virtual private network, that's VPN, that can create a false feeling of safety. You may feel that you're secure, but you don't even know that there is some guy which has running any random virus or payload on your background and is actually hacking you and you don't even know about that. So these security systems often focus on a high level vulnerabilities such as viruses and traffics through firewall without affecting how hackers work. Attacking your own systems to discover vulnerabilities is a step to making them more secure. This is only a proven method of greatly hardening your systems from the attack. If you don't identify weaknesses, it's just a matter of time that someone else exploits them and it's actually discovered by every other person on your system. So as hackers expand their knowledge, so should you. You must think like them, act like them, work like them in order to protect your system from them. So you as an ethical hacker must know the activities these hackers carry out and how to stop their efforts. You should know what to look for and how to use that information to go and destroy these hackers' efforts. You don't know how to protect your system from everything, you can't. So the only thing or the only protection against everything is to unplug your computer system, lock them away so that no one can touch them, not even you, because you don't even know that sometimes you're actually allowing yourself or you're actually allowing yourself to allow other hackers to hack into your system. And that's actually not the best approach to information security, is it? No, it's not. So what's important is to protect your system from known vulnerabilities and common hacker attacks, at least the basics. So this course is not only for any person who wants to be an actual hacker, but it's also for the person who wants to protect themselves from these hackers. Even if you don't want to know or don't want to become an ethical hacker, then too. It's actually impossible to get all the possible vulnerabilities on your system. You cannot actually plan for all possible attacks, especially the ones that are currently unknown. However, the more combinations you try, the more you test your system, and there are better chances of you discovering the vulnerabilities that affect your whole system. Don't take this ethical hacking stuff too far. It makes little sense to harden your systems from unlikely attacks. For example, let's say if you don't have a lot of traffic in your office and no internal web server running, you may not have as much to worry about as an ISP providing internet to each and every other person. However, don't forget about the insider threats, that is from the employees who actually are working under you and they may have malicious intent. So your overall goal as an ethical hacker should be something like hack your own system in a non-destructive fashion, obviously, because you don't want your whole system to get fried and there won't be anything to work on later on. You need to enumerate the vulnerabilities, and if necessary, you need to prove an upper management hand that these vulnerabilities exist and how to go ahead and remove these vulnerabilities and make your system better and secure. So these are just the few things that you need to keep in mind as to what ethical hacking is and how they work exactly. So these are just for the basics as of now. In the next tutorial, I'll be talking about the technical and the non-technical attacks and how they work. So thank you for watching this tutorial, guys, and have a nice day ahead.